Welcome to Maine Real Estate Today. Welcome to our very first podcast. We are here this morning with Steve Lachance from Integrity Mortgage, Ruth Summers from Keller Williams Realty, and me, Cathy Manchester. So excited. Now I get to dance in front of you at our first podcast.
No. Now, if she does a good job, we're going to get in trouble because we used to make fun of it all the time when Cathy wasn't there.
Yes, this is true.
And now we're going to have proof of whether she's good at it or not.
That's true. I don't know. You know, with enough right music, anybody can be a good dancer. You just got to move your body.
That's it. Move. That's it.
You can't judge.
And people love it when you make a fool of yourself. So
we're very good at
really good at that.
So how long were we doing the radio?
Gosh, it was like, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
Forever.
It goes by in a flash.
It was a long time. And
it was a long time.
I have had people stop me and say, how come you're not doing the radio show anymore? And I said, hey, you got to listen to the podcast now. Okay, tell me where.
Yeah.
So that's a
And
cool
now
thing.
they can actually watch us on the podcast.
There you
so
go.
it's
Exactly.
great. So, you know, if you don't change with the times, you die.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, if you're not growing, you're just stagnant. So we had to grow, get new, get vibrant, and change with the times, which is nobody's listening to radio anymore. So we had to make the change.
Well, I think one of the nice things too about this podcast is that we're going to be able to find a topic and stick with it. So for instance, you know, today, let's talk about, you know, the market because, you know, we're kind of rolling out. People are always looking to us for market advice. Is this the time to sell? Is it not? But in a month's time, the information is going to be different. Heck, in a week's time, tomorrow, it's going to be different. So what we can do though, is we are able to focus in on, like, for instance, what in the world does Steve do? What is a loan officer?
We're all still wondering that.
I know. You know, how do you go through the loan process? You know, we can talk to him as a specific podcast about investment. I mean, you know more about investing than you do about real estate.
Yeah, Cathy certainly does. And one of the disappointments that I had with radio over the years is to try to be compliant is you can't get very technical with the show. So when we start talking about what are the interest rates, what are the actual details of this loan program, you can't do that when you can't give customers all the fine print, which on the show we'll be able to start showing the APR, the details, the equal opportunity logos, and all of the things that are necessary to stay compliant. Because in the past, I have never been able to do that.
Yeah, it's gonna be really great. So yeah. And so today we want to update on the market. I mean, the market this is a new market. This is something that's just unprecedented.
Yes, it is.
It is absolutely crazy.
And the reason is I think people are just in a state of flux. What's going to happen? You know, now they're beginning to talk about the interest rates going up. So I know with our over 55 community, we have a whole lot more activity the past couple of days than we have in, you know, during snowstorms and things like that. But in this past week, I've sold too.
Well, you know, when you read in the paper, which the paper's always the last to get the news out.
Mm-hmm.
There's a paper?
You read in the paper or online. You know, I read the paper online every morning, and it'll tell you, you know, expect at least 3 interest rate hikes this year.
Yeah.
And so when you know you're going to get a rate hike, then you know it's time to pull the trigger.
Right.
And people that are sitting there going, okay, well, you know, I'm going to sell my house this year, but I want to paint the living room and I got to clean out the garage. No, get the thing on.
Well, you know, a lot of those rate hikes too that everybody's anticipating and expecting coming up, that actually means that they've already gone up. They're very slowly going up. If you look at rates where they were just a few months ago and compare them to right now, we're looking at 0.5 point, 3/4 of a point higher than they were just a few months ago. And the confusion is, well, wait a minute, the Feds didn't raise rates yet. That's coming up.
It's the expectation.
Because the Fed is really raising overnight bank rate, which is allowing lenders what they trade or lend to each other overnight to lend for cheaper money or more money, depending on how the government sees inflation. And when we see inflation increasing, we're definitely going to see that be a big problem with interest rates going up. So that data is already built in.
So one of the funny things about this podcast is that we can hear noise, and Cathy and I are looking at each other, and I know it's not my stomach. Is it your stomach?
No, I don't
Steve,
know what.
Did Lori not give you lunch?
She feeds me well. But we're hearing the roofers.
Oh, it's the roofers.
We're hearing our roofers right now.
Like, where is that noise coming
Not
from?
roofies. We have not had roofies.
Some alien was about to come out of your stomach. Feed me.
Like, what is that? What am I moving?
Yeah, I've worked out of this building for years. I'm very used to this time of year hearing the roofers up there. Flat roof, and you know what?
Are they scraping the snow off?
You know, I use this building as an example of borrowers that are buying multi-units that have flat roofs with a central drain. Not a good plan. Definitely not a good
that's a
plan.
lot of snow,
I
a
am
lot of
thrilled
ice.
to see this warm up because my solar panels have been covered.
Oh,
And I
yep.
can't wait for them to be
Yeah.
uncovered because what has gone on with CMP? My bill
Oh,
doubled.
my gosh.
Man.
Doubled. Same thing.
What the heck is going on?
My wife and I got into the biggest argument. I'm like, you didn't pay last month. That's why. And she's
No.
like, yeah, I did. I'm like, no, you didn't. Look right here. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah, you
oh,
did.
you're right. You did pay that bill.
How can they do that?
Oh my gosh, I'm
Double.
telling you. Doubled. Ours is doubled
Where
as
the
well.
heck is our government? Aren't they supposed to manage that?
I would hope so, but the funny part is ours is doubled, but we're not doing anything differently this year than we did last year.
Right. Right.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's
Crazy.
nuts.
It is. Not budgeted at all. It's crazy. Yeah.
Now, isn't there something to get it on the ballot to have it privatized?
We better
Or not
hurry up.
privatized, but
It's
publicly
almost
owned?
like that they got really angry that they didn't get to do their corridor.
Right.
And they're going, okay, Maine people, we
Right.
got
Here you go.
Well, yeah, we were seeing
going
on
to
the-
get it another way.
We were seeing on the news or on our even in our letters that we got, expect a 10% increase. Excuse me, this is a 100% increase.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
It is absolutely crazy. So, and maybe they're just making up for it because I know a lot of us don't have air conditioning and they're not going to be able to charge us as much in the summer. I don't know, but it is nuts.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't know how people are going to afford it.
No.
Well, we do have a fourth mic in here, and I'm wondering if we can get someone from CMP to come in and want to debate this with us.
I might not want to.
I don't think they're going to want to do it. Yeah.
I'll bring my bill and show it to him and ask him,
Yeah.
could you help me understand this? How from last year to this year it's doubled and I haven't done anything differently.
Correct.
Like
Yeah.
I run around turning lights off all the time. Lights off, lights off, lights off. Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
So,
You
and
know,
it's not just that. Natural gas has gone up.
Yep.
Number 2 oil's gone up. Everything is.
everything's gone up.
Yeah.
Everything's gone up.
Mhm.
So, and interest rates are going up.
Interest rates are going up
So-
as well. And the problem with interest rates going up is many borrowers aren't paying attention that they don't know this yet. So because there's so many things going up, it's staying off the radar without the Fed's increasing interest rates yet. We're not seeing customers understand that mortgage rates have already gone up as a reaction to the fact that the Feds are going to do it. That's investor desirability, anticipating those increases.
I'll tell you, if you're in a position where your kids, are getting ready to fly the coop and it's almost time to downsize, I would do it now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Downsize now and reduce your expenses
Yeah.
because things are going to get tight.
They are going to get
You
tight.
know?
Now, the risk of being a wise guy, can you downsize right now?
Why not?
Why not?
The price that looking at cost of homes, like if I wanted to
Steve.
downsize right now, could I buy another home
Steve, of course
for
you
less money
could.
than what I have now?
Of course you could, because you're selling at the peak.
But I'm gonna buy at the peak.
because it's going to go up. But yes, it's still 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Okay.
If you were going to sell now and buy 2 years from now, that would not be a wise thing.
Okay. Right.
But if you're going to sell now and buy now, it's the same.
It is the same. And in the interim, while you're in this smaller house, you're saving money because you're not spending as much heating. You're not spending as much for oil. I mean, it just, you're getting rid of half of your junk, which is going to make you feel better anyway. And you'll be able to sell a smaller house much easier in the future than you will a bigger house.
And don't forget, I can't imagine how many people do not know that you can sell a house as a married couple and you can take up to $500,000 worth of gain in income.
Now, this is a recent change, is it not?
No, it's been a long time.
Really?
So you can make $500,000.
I know somebody in the office
and
that
it's
just did that.
tax-free.
Yep.
Almost worth getting married.
If $250 if you're not.
Okay.
For
well,
me-
I'll stay married.
For me, the divorce costs more than that.
Okay. I love being married.
So I would say, yeah. So single, make $250,000
Wow.
tax free. Sell your house, make some change, tax free, put it away.
Is that federal law?
Yes. So before it changes, if it does, as long as, and I'm not an accountant, so let's put that right out there.
Yeah.
Talk to your accountant.
She just plays one on the radio.
However, as long as you have not used your home for an income property,
Okay.
you've not rented it, you've not used it for a business, there's parameters around
Sure.
it. If you used it, you had a home office and you took depreciation on it, then
Right.
you got some tax liability.
Right. You'd
there.
certainly want to seek tax.
If you
advice from
rented
tax advisor.
an apartment out of it, you got some
Right.
Yeah.
stuff there. But if it was your primary residence 2 out of the last 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
and you're selling it, then you have some tax-free gain there
Yep.
that you don't have to pay taxes on. A lot of people still think, well, I've got to roll that right into another property like
Right.
you used to.
No.
You don't.
Or they're worried that that's
And there's
income
no
they have to
age
claim.
limit that you have to do it at.
Right.
Wow.
I mean, you could make money every 3 years.
That's
As long
great
as
info.
it was your primary residence
we-
for the last
Right.
5 years.
We have someone in the office that just did this recently. They built a home a few years ago, made a lot of money. It was worth nearly double what they paid for it. And they sold it recently, made $500,000, almost the exact amount, and used a portion of that to buy a home down in Florida. And they're renting here right now until they decide to make the permanent move down to Florida.
Yeah.
So,
Smart.
and in the meantime, they can rent the one in Florida, and somebody else is paying off that
Yeah.
that
If
existing
I were
property.
them, I'd buy up here because the prices are still going up.
Right.
So buy up here.
Yeah.
And then when you leave, you have a product up here you can rent.
Right.
Or sell and you make an income up here. You make a profit up here. Because if you're going to stay in a house up here for another 2 years, why not make a tax-free income again?
Yeah, the mistake I'm still seeing is a lot of buyers right now saying, sellers that are saying, I'm going to wait until spring.
Yeah, crazy.
I hear this every time in Maine. I'm going to wait until spring.
Crazy,
April market's
crazy.
going to hit, and it's going to show better. We can clean up the yard, and it's not even necessary. You're going to sell your home for full top dollar. In fact, you'll sell it likely more than it will appraise for right now in this market.
I'll tell you, I purchased a property, put it under contract in May in Florida, in Ocala, Florida. New build. Finished the build in November, put it on the market in January. So we close next week. So I'll own it for about 8-9 weeks and selling it for $50,000 more than I paid for it.
Amazing.
There you go.
That's
8-9
amazing.
weeks. That's what the market's doing. And if you read all the forecasts back in November, they would say there would be no appreciation in a house between November.
I stopped listening
in
to the
February.
forecast now.
no.
We're in uncharted waters. This has not gone according to plan. We were also hearing that rates weren't going to get touched until 2023.
Right.
And here
Yeah.
1 month into the election, we were already hearing that rates, we're going to have to start increasing that because inflation's a worry. Yeah, when you spend this kind of money, inflation's going to be a problem.
So bottom line, if you want to talk about, is this the right time for you to make some money out of your property? Give us a call at the Manchester team at 207-653-7653. And give us a call. We'll chat with you and let you know, is it the right time for you? We'll take into consideration all your information and tell you whether or not it really is the right time for you.
Absolutely.
And we'll hold that information confidential and give you some advice because we love making people money.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
So that's been our number one thing for a long time is not just the acquisition of wealth that we get in our industry, but being able to actually talk to people genuinely in real world, which is why these shows that we do are never scripted. We don't have PowerPoint presentations. We don't have a scripted show. We talk about how it is in real world. But genuinely, our interest is, of course, I'm a loan officer. I work for Integrity Mortgage, and I'm going to be able to get more loans out of it. But I've done and built a career off of that, of just providing the education, which is what I love working with you two guys, because it's exactly what you've done. You've built everything on just being the educator, and the business comes from there.
It's fun.
It is fun.
There you go.
So, yeah. So thanks for joining us for our first podcast. It was great to be here with you, and we look forward to being back.